Alright, so today we're going to be working on a Lord Reliquer here from Age of Sigmar. He's based with Retributor Gold and then washed with Reiklin Flesh Shade here, as you can see. And then I dry brushed him with Ulrich Armor Gold here, as you can see that. And this is the product that you get here when you look at him closely. He turns out pretty shiny, nice. So now the next step is the blue on the Stormcast. So the blue is going to be a base of Cantor Blue, then a Nuln Oil wash, and then finally we are going to do a Techless Blue dry brush. So we're going to go ahead and begin here. Alright, so we're going to begin with Cantor Blue. Going to grab yourself a brush, whatever's good, and get a little wet. Get yourself a paper towel, whatever you got, and out your brush. Shake your paint. That way the sediment doesn't settle. Open her up. And you're going to take some paint right out of the cap here. You're just going to place it right in one of these little slots. Okay. And rinse your brush out. Don't ever let your brush sit in the water because it will cause the bristles to bend and it'll ruin the contour of your brush. You always want to keep it nice and sharp. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and start doing some detail work on this guy. So I took a little water, put the water in the paint here, mix it up a little. There we go, good. Just get any pigment or anything out of it. Doesn't need to be in there. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and start painting this model. So I'm going to start in the shoulder pad area, right about here, right in here. Okay, so here we go. And just start lightly. You can see that. I come in, just lay the paint in, and spread it slowly. Until you get the desired look and coverage of the paint on the model. There we go. Give you guys some better light there. As you can see, can you see that? Yeah, you can. Nice clean line. So now I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to take them off this and put this here, this part. Lighting is very important when you're painting, so make sure that your light is decent and you can actually see what you're painting. It has a lot of detail on him, so you have to be really careful not to bump anything else, or you're going to have to go back and fix the gold, which is a pain in the butt. So it's better just to get it right the first time. Okay, rinse your brush, and here is his shoulder. This is the way it should look. Just like that. Turn him around, and there you have it. Okay, so you got some nice clean lines. Got a nice dark rich blue on his shoulder, and we're going to start doing the other shoulder. Just always mix up your paint, make sure it stays nice and smooth, because then it starts to glob and you end up with globby texture. It just looks bad. Nobody wants globby texture on their models. Just go and get a nice conservative amount of paint on your brush. Just going to come in slow. Last time. And nice and easy. There we go. Good. Now, as you can tell, the front of his shoulder pad is kind of buried, so it's going to be a little difficult to get in there without messing up his gold paint. So I'm going to rinse this out. That there, and we're going to switch brushes to something a little smaller. Right about here. There it is, right there. We're going to go ahead and go with the fine tip brush here. Get a nice generous amount of paint on your brush. Not too much, not too little, just right. Position your model so you can get in there. It's very difficult. On this particular model. they do not give you much space to work with here. You know, use what they give you. As you can see, the blue is now done on his shoulder pads. The next piece I'm going to paint is going to be this little pauldron right here on his chest, right there. I'm going to just go ahead and come in, and I'm just going to paint the whole thing blue. I'll have to come back in later and detail it, but that's okay. Okay, there you go. Go ahead, you have it nice and crisp and clean now. So put some nice blue on there, and then of course you have to paint his robes. His robes are blue as well. So this area right in here, all this stuff and around the edges is all blue. So get in there. Just usually lay down a nice little base coat first, and then come back and pick out any areas that I might have missed. Sometimes the paint settles a little funny, and you gotta just come back and pick up a couple little dead areas. Almost done with this tasset here as far as that goes. So this blue is Cantor blue. I like it. It gives them a very royal feel. I like my Stormcast to kind of have like a darker look to them, you know. Not super dark, but like a weary dark. All right, so there we go. That's done. Now we have to paint the rim of his front of his cape here, or his tasset. Just go ahead and mix your paint up again. You always have a generous amount on your brush. You're gonna end up doing multiple layers, which is really annoying, so try to avoid that. The center of this is going to be painted silver, so if you get a little blue in there, it won't hurt anything. Anyway, so just going to go ahead and get in here now. Paint that tasset. There we go, good. Nice dark blue I'm looking for here. The goal here is to just really keep the paint off the gold armor. That's really what you want to do, because if you have to go back and paint the gold armor again, it's a 3-stage process, and it can get really annoying. So just try to do your best to keep the gold, the blue off the gold. Paint what you can of the tasset that you can see. naked eye because okay, so most of his tacet is painted from what you can see. The rest of it is kind of hidden behind his robes and stuff, so you can't really see it. But we're going to get in there anyway and try to paint the backside without getting gold on the armor here. So that's what we're going to do. Try to just sneak in there. Nah. Now it won't let me. That's okay though. Alright, so that's the first stage of the blue on this guy. Besides the Retributor spray, use a spray can. Then I use Reikland Flesh Shade and I use Ulrich Gold for a dry brush to get this finish on the guys here. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry and we'll come back to the next step once that's done. Alright.